I came with a great news to start with. Ethics rocks. And yes, business can lead the way on business ethics. So you probably read in the last 2 days that Google DeepMind created an external ethical body called DeepMind Ethics and Society because Google believes that artificial intelligence can be of extraordinary benefit to the world, of course, but only if held to the highest ethical standards. Thank you, Google. No jokes. It's a very healthy statement. It's a remarkable one. But this is just the last example of a deep change where companies are taking responsibility for the impact of their activities on the society, and they also accept the idea that they don't know everything and that they need help. They need help to think. They also agree that they have an ultimate duty of transparency with the world. In other words, in transparency with us. So the time when organization with the best techniques, organization with the best procedures, were the most performant or the most sustainable one, is over. And this time is really over forever. The time where it was enough to respect the law, to be on the safe side, or to be on the safe harbor, like lawyers like to say, this time where it was enough to respect the law to be on the safe side is also over forever. It's now very clear that a key factor for business sustainability is the quality of its culture, is the quality of its value, and more specifically, it is the quality of its culture of integrity. So to have integrity, more specifically, more precisely, is not to compromise on your values. For instance, the respect, or to respect the dignity and the values of human beings. And it takes courage to have integrity. It takes courage to have a real respect. So you see, you already have 3 ethical principles: integrity, respect, and courage. If you just add transparency, you have a set of strong references that will help you to move on in your journey. So ethics in business is a subject of, and the reason of our conversation today. The pressure is on you. I really feel the pressure that you have as the leaders of today, but as importantly, if not more, as the great leaders of tomorrow morning. Because as leaders, you will be confronted with very tough, very difficult choices. And when ethical issues arises, silence is not an option. But you can say, okay, but what about the law? The issue is that the speed of innovation, the speed of technical innovation, the speed of scientific innovation is much faster than the speed of production of the legal framework. And therefore, there is a vacuum. And this vacuum is filled in by our values. So, in other words, the law is not any longer the framework for decision-making. It's much too slow. So if you are here, it's because you are movers and shakers. And your ethics is becoming your license to operate. So which type of issues are we talking about? There are plenty. I just would like to mention 2. For instance, artificial intelligence and robotization. In the competition which is coming between the human race and computers, or the competition between human race and robots, who will win? Are we going to a stage where humans will be robot slaves? So it raises very deep concerns at the moment, and ethics, which is close to philosophy, by the way, helps to think about them and help to make the right decisions. Decisions that will impact us very deeply. But what about big data, which is also a common issue? Big data and the predictive analysis. When we combine data, for instance, from telecom and data from an insurance company or data from a financial corporation, it is absolutely mind-blowing how much good or how much harm we can do. And ethics will be there to help to decide how far we go and when we should stop. But it has little to do with the law, because the law will not prevent. People will always try to go around the law. What is important is the real behavior, is the real ethical behavior. It's why really I believe that to have the right culture is so key. So things can be perfectly lawful also, and perfectly awful. It's very sad. Ethics will serve and is serving both as a guardian, but also as a powerful agent of change. These ethical questions are not easy, but they must be addressed. We have no choice. So as leader, if I can make a recommendation, state your ethical values with transparency, and above all, walk the talk. If you do not walk the talk, you will be caught. Unethical people, unethical leaders, unethical organizations are now stopped faster. They disappear much faster. So, as my time is going on, I would like to give you some takeaways. Okay? As leader, of course, be brave. You don't need me for that. Be transparent. I think human rights is a main rising subject and will become a key focus for corporations, and a subject larger and bigger than corruption. Corruption is a huge subject, but I think human rights is really the coming rising subject and will succeed most probably to corruption. So together with artificial intelligence, these some may see these subjects are frightening. Frightening as we realize that what is at stake is potentially nothing less than the fate of the human being race. I think these issues are much more fascinating than frightening. Last year, I suggested that every new generation starts with a legacy to fix the misses of the previous generation. And that it's now your turn to fix our misses. But in fact, I changed my mind, if I may, because things accelerate. And you already have the mission to fix your own misses, those of your generation, but also, of course, the mission to prevent future misses. So where do you start? How to start? You know that people usually remember only 3 things from any given speech, but I understand that collectively we outsmart, by far, the average audience. So I wish we remember 7 things. First of all, ethics is a fantastic decision-making framework, and as a leader, you are to make tough choices. Speak up, because, as we said, silence is not an option. Integrity, respect, courage, transparency are the new fashion. 3, it's great to feel responsible for the responsibility of others. But do not spend your precious time to fight the cynicals and the skepticals. Move on, go on. You will win faster. For it's better to concentrate on the positive side of ethics than on the negative side of law. For instance, it's much better to frame the discussion on diversity than on non-discrimination. It's much more positive to focus on a culture of integrity, on a culture of loyalty, than on conflict of interest. Practice multiculturalism. It's a sign of respect. Do not let anyone dictate your ethical standing. Feel entrusted to decide. Don't ask for permission. Don't ask for permission to act ethically. If you believe in it, do it. Remain optimist and keep a smile on your face while you make the good ethical decision. It is very contagious. And my last, this is my last word.